Hey guys, I'm so excited because today we'll be going over the Willow Creek update for my Sims 4 save file. Last year I released the Newcrest 1.0 version, as some of you guys probably remember, and Willow Creek has been in the works for a very long time now, and it's actually been pretty much finished for about a month now, except for a few little things. And I was thinking I would release like 3 worlds in this update because I've also been working on San Myshuno and Copperdale, which are still coming, but just because I'm a little bit busy, I figured it would be easier for me to just release them one world at a time. So if you download this, the worlds have a lot of progress in them, both Copperdale and San Myshuno. They're kind of close to being done, but not every household is finished with a description and relationships, and not all of the lots are 100% complete, so when I do release those in the future, that's when those things will be polished and all of that. So anyway, today I'm going to give you a quick overview of some of the lots and the families, and I won't go into everything because I want you guys to be able to explore this yourselves, but I figured we could take a look at some of my favorite things. Also, all of these Sims and lots are uploaded to my gallery page, so if you are on console, you can download it that way. And I'll have a guide for where all of the lots and households go in my description. So we're starting off here with the Tomlin household, and their description says, after years of saving up money from selling her pottery, Naya finally bought her own studio. To make some extra income, she also bought the space next door and turned it into a cute cafe. The laundromat next door has been abandoned for years, but she's had her eye on fixing that up next. Her daughter Azure loves living next to a pottery studio, but has been feeling conflicted between pursuing academics or art after graduation. So they live here. It is a small business venue with businesses and hobbies. Over here we have their pottery studio, and over here is the cafe, like I said, with a space for their cats. They have a dog named Ronnie, and then a cat named Gigi, and a cat named Mimi, which I think the cats' names are so freaking cute. And then over here, we have the abandoned rundown laundromat. And I thought it would be fun to make it abandoned so that if you play in this lot or with this family, you can slowly work to fix up the laundromat, and then you can go over to the small business and you could change the activities to also be do laundry if you decide to open up the laundromat. So their business is called Tomlin Arts and Cafe, and the activities are browse and buy items, do pottery, and drink coffee. And then over here is where they actually live. Azure's room is up here. We have a little space for the cats to play, a bathroom up here, and then the main living space here. And then in here is Naya's bedroom. And I wanted this to be like, you can play it as the family, or you can also come visit. So I figured it would be fun to have like a fully fledged pottery studio already and a little cafe that you can visit. And then if you decide to actually play as the family, then you're able to kind of fix up the laundromat as you go. That way it's kind of like functional in multiple senses, because obviously not everyone is going to want to play with this family all the time, but that way there's still like a functional pottery studio in town. And Naya doesn't really have any romantic interests or really a lot of friends. She's very family focused and also focused on growing her business. On the Newcrest save file, you guys may remember this family that decides. Ray is actually Naya's sister, and so Azure and Omar and Greta are all cousins. So that's what I tried to do a lot, is make a lot of like family connections as well. So if you go in and check out the Sims different family trees, then you might see some fun connections in there. As for Azure, she has a few friends, and her best friend is actually named Shawnee, and they kind of have a little romantic connection going on. That's up to you if you want to develop that out further, but I think that's kind of cute. I won't go into each building on the rest of Main Street, but I'll just tell you what we have here. So back here is a gym, this is a photo studio, and this is a bar. And I have it set as a bar, so most people will chill in here and drink and hang out. But if you want, you can also switch it to be a gym. It will also function that way. And then over here we have a tattoo studio. This is a candy shop. And over here we have a boutique. And it looks like they're naked, but I promise there's dresses in there. And then over here we have a boba tea shop and thrift store. And then back here we have a little stage for your Sims to come perform or dance, hang out, whatever it is you want to do. On the 50 by 50 lot where the park normally is in Willow Creek, I actually have seasonal festivals. So since the game is in summer already, I just have the summer festival active, but I do have 3 other versions for each of the seasons on my gallery. So you can see here I have the Creek Fall Festival, Winter Festival, Spring Festival, and Summer Festival. So when it's fall, you can just come in and place the lot down. And this is what it will look like. I tried to give like some different activities for each of the different seasons. So we have a pumpkin carving station here. We have the haunted house. You can watch scary movies over here. We have pumpkins ready to be carved. Over here, we have like a cauldron. We have tarot reading and what's it called? The seance table. So lots of fun things, and each of the different festivals has different activities for each of the different seasons. Over in Foundry Cove, there's a starter home for your Sims to move into. It is kind of a rundown, very like, it is what it is, and I like that. I like to have a small, simple space when my Sims are starting out, and a lot of like upgrades to be had, and it's not like insanely small to where I feel limited, like I need to expand it immediately, but I think this is kind of the perfect size for a single Sim or maybe a couple to move into. Okay, next we're gonna check out the Welden family, and it says, it's about to be max capacity at the Welden household as Jax accidentally got his girlfriend Jewel pregnant. They're fresh out of high school and not sure if they're ready to be parents. Drea is the oldest child and has been playing the role of parent her whole life. Considering who her father is, that won't be changing anytime soon. And this is semi-shameless inspired, as the description says. So Drea here is kind of the caretaker, the older sister, kind of Fiona Gallagher coded, and I'll hop into the household and show you the rest of the Sims. Okay, so this is their house. It's kind of a big house, but there are a lot of Sims, so it honestly makes sense. So out here, we just have a garage and we have a tattoo table because Drea wants to be a tattoo artist. And I don't know why it doesn't actually show this, but she is set as a tattoo artist at 2 different tattoo shops. So she is a babysitter on the weekends, and then whenever you load into a lot with like a tattoo parlor, there's only 2 tattoo parlors in my save file, and she's an employee at both. So you will see her there, but she just has a tattoo table here so she can practice at home as well. Okay, this is me editing, but I was just doing one final test of everything in the save, and I realized that the employees in small businesses are bugged. So for this small business, I had Drea working the tattoo parlor and Sam, another person in the save, working the counter. But whenever you load out of a lot, I think it is, the employees just completely disappear. So when you're visiting some of the small business venues, you may have to hire a tattoo artist, for example, until the bug gets patched. And then hopefully once I know it's been fixed, then I can re-upload the save at another point with everything properly set, but it's just a freaking annoying bug right now. In here is the main living area. It's kind of messy, very cluttered. Through here is the kitchen, very simple. And then through here is actually Jack's and Jewel's room. And when I released the Newcrest version of this save, these guys were also in it, and Jax and Jewel were teenagers with a pregnancy, but since I'm not using any mods or custom content in this, it just wasn't working. So I decided to have them be fresh out of high school and be young adults so that they can still have that, because it was just confusing and not really working how I wanted it to. But Jax is in college, which makes the pregnancy even more complicated. He is also a landscaper on the weekend, but he is studying physics during the week. And then Jewel is actually in the romance consultant career. She's just starting out. She's like, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna try this. I just thought that would be kind of a fun career for her. They're both obviously feeling a little bit apprehensive about being parents. This was an accidental pregnancy, but they decided that they are going to keep it and just be the best parents that they can be. And, you know, living in like such a big chaotic family, I'm sure that will, you know, we'll see. They already have an infant named Louis, and he's turning out fine. You know what I'm saying? So what's another baby to add to the mix? This is Louis's nursery. In here, he lives right next to Ken, who I don't know why that's the arranging of the bedrooms. That's just how it worked out. So, you know, the infant is living next to this guy. Ken really doesn't get along with that many people, especially not his family. The only family member that truly like sees the best in him is Rena, but she's pretty young and she just like wants to see the best in her family and especially her father, versus the other kids are a little bit older and they've been more like burned by him in the past. So they have a lot more like anger and resentment towards him. Ken is a level 3 criminal, and he's actually in a fight club that meets at the Rundown Diner in Newcrest. So if you ever go there, you might see him there throwing hands. Drea, Liv, and Rena all share this room. This is Drea's bed here, and then Liv and Rena have this bunk bed over here. And honestly, I really love their room. I love how cluttered it is. This is probably my favorite of all of the bedrooms. Liv is like the angsty teenager, but she actually has quite a few friends, and she has been seeing this guy Carson that lives across the street. Well, he lives across the street for now, but there's some drama between Carson and Dylan because Dylan also has a crush on Carson, but Liv kind of really hates her for that. They've been enemies for a while now. We'll see, maybe that'll be resolved, but probably not, because Liv is kind of petty like that. Funnily enough, before Jewel and Jax aged up, Jewel had a little romance with Carson, which this was before he was interested in Liv, so Liv and Jewel are honestly fine, but Jax really hates him for that. And so Carson doesn't really come by the house very much, because when he does, there's drama. All the teenagers have jobs pretty much, because you can see they're definitely strapped for cash, especially because Ken does not really care to support them very heavily. So she works as a lifeguard and also goes to school, obviously. And then back to Rena. She has some friends, especially the girls that live across the street, Kaylin and Larissa. She's still, you know, growing up, so we'll see how she kind of turns out. But right now, she's just kind of like doing her own thing. And in the backyard, we have a ping pong table and a keg, because Drea and Jax especially love to throw parties back here. In the same neighborhood, there is an affordable family home ready for move-in. It's a 3-bedroom family home with 2 bathrooms, a garage, and it only costs about 30,000 simoleons, so it shouldn't be too much of a struggle financially for your Sims to be able to move in here after just working for a little bit. So yeah, I think it's really cute. Nice big backyard, space to grow for your family Sims if the starter home or whatever is starting to feel a little cramped. I'm gonna show you one more household and then I'm going to leave the rest for y'all to explore. But this is the Blevins household, and it says, more than anything, Maya wants to grow up and move to the city like her dad. She sneaks away to visit him whenever she can, but it's not the same as when he lived at home with them. Mari doesn't mind taking care of her ex-mother-in-law as they've grown close over the past few years. Lara and Giovanni keep the household light and fun, which balances out the arguments between Maya and Mari. They live here in this big yellow house, and it is a 5-bedroom house. Each of the kids have their own room, and then here is Mari's room, Maya's room, obviously, Lara and Giovanni, and then downstairs we have Mildred's room with a little like craft area, and we have a rocking chair outside on the porch for her, big like entryway room with a piano and all the kids' stuff. We have the kitchen over here, and we have the dining and living room here, and then a backyard outside with a treehouse. And then we have a garage and like a little mini art space, art studio out here. So Mari used to be married to Ollie. This is the kid's father. Somewhat recently, he actually moved out. They got divorced, and he is now dating a new man in the city. They're living it up, living their best gay dreams. And Maya is actually the only one who knows him. It's actually Diego, because Maya really is close with her father. She sneaks out to the city as much as she can to visit him. She actually has the city native trait because she really wants to move there. She is also big into soccer. So I'm kind of like thinking maybe she'll want to go to university and play on the soccer team, but we'll see. She and Mari really don't get along, especially now after the divorce. Even though it's not Mari's fault, Ollie did that all on his own, but she just idolizes her father. So this family actually has a pretty big family tree. We obviously have Mari and these 3 kids, and then she has 2 siblings. We have Ruby, who's her sister, and she has 3 kids as well. And then they also have a piece of shit brother who's a piece of shit father to actually 2 kids, but the family is only aware of Carson. Marcel is not really involved in either of his kids' lives, and so much so that they don't even know that his other son with a different woman exists. And I'm not gonna go into that. Y'all can explore that if you want, but he lives in a trailer in Copperdale if you are looking to find out more about him. But since Carson doesn't live with his father, we also have a Murphy bed here for if he wants to stay here instead of always staying with Ruby, because he sleeps in their garage at their house, so sometimes it's nice to come stay here and like trade off. And Mildred is actually Ollie's mother, but Mari and Mildred are kind of close. She's lived with them for a few years before the divorce, and so it just felt right for her to stay. You know, she's still the kids' grandma, and she's just obviously part of the family, so she is still living there, and yeah, it's kind of a vibe. And this is Lara. She's very sweet. She's actually Giovanni's twin. There are 2 sets of twins in this family, and they're all kids, so all 4 of them are very close. Kaylin and Larissa are the other twins, and it's just so cool that they're all like the same age. Laura and Giovanni also obviously miss their dad being home, but it's definitely not been as hard on them as it has been on Maya because she just had that super close bond with her father. I also updated the calendar and added in the different holidays. It's honestly so sad that I have to use like the default icons because normally I would use a mod that gives me way more holiday and club icons and stuff, but I want this to be CC free, so I just have to stick with these. But yeah, I totally forgot to include holidays in my Newcrest save file, so I just wanted to throw in that I did update this, so there will be nice holidays in game for when you load in. So we have Leisure Day in the summer, and in the summer I don't like to have too many holidays. I like that to just be like my Sims free time to chill. And then we have Spooky Day and Harvest Fest. We have Winterfest, New Year's Eve, and then we have Super Bowl Sunday, Love Day, and Bunny Day. That's all I'm gonna go into in this video. I hope you guys have so much fun exploring this, and at some point, I'm not gonna say exactly when, I will be doing another one of these to update you on Copperdale when I release that. That'll probably be first, and then San Myshuno following after that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm so excited for you guys to check this out. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I will put all of the links to download this and also the guide on where to place lots and households for if you're on console and everything. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.